It is a wonderful day. Today was Wednesday, and it's July, almost the end of July already. We're way past the half point of the year, 2022. A lot has happened. A lot of people have passed away that I know, and I'm just grateful for the life that God has given me. I'm grateful to be here, to be able to talk with you guys. I want to talk a little bit about some questions that come up as I was watching Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And as you can see, one of the questions is, where does Superman hang his cape? That is to say, where does Superman actually go to dress up, and or where does he go to stay? Where's this fortress of solitude, if you want to call it that? Now, people say it's the North Pole, and if you check it out, for Man of Steel, the Kryptonian ship, scout ship, um, was located in Canada, up in the north, near to Alaska, kind of the North Pole. So that's kind of interesting. But you will recall that same Kryptonian ship crashed in BVS in Metropolis and is being under observation in Metropolis. So the question is, because it's under observation, there's military presence there, could Superman get into that Kryptonian ship? As in remember Superman, Clark was living with Lois in Metropolis. Was Clark, how, first of all, if Clark had his suits and stuff still inside of the Kryptonian ship, how's he getting into the Kryptonian ship to start with? How's he getting into there to get access to those things? Or did he keep his stuff elsewhere in another place after that Ground Zero event? Because remember, when at the end of Man of Steel, General Swanswick, and Major Farris were heading somewhere, and the drone that was following Superman slammed the drone into the ground and said, You'll never know where I leave my cape. Now, could be that it's in plain sight. Superman's actually got his stuff right in the Kryptonian ship. And somehow he sneaks into downtown Metropolis and gets in there. I don't think that makes sense. So it means he had to have another place to put those things, or to have his suit. Where would that be? Was there another Kryptonian ship that was apprehended, that Superman was able to apprehend? These are questions that I always wonder about. Even when I look at Zack Snyder's Justice League and Superman goes back and you see the suits and everything, and I'm saying to myself, how did he get in? How did he get into the ship? How did he get into the ship? Did he go back downtown and go into the ship and get access to the ship and go into it? Shout out to Leroy Cohn. What's up, my brother? So, it's just a question. Leroy, let me ask you this question. Where do you think Superman hangs his cape? Where do you think it at least in Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, where does Superman hang his cape? It's a good question. So the question is, is it in the Kryptonian ship downtown Metropolis? That's heavily guarded. So how is Superman able to go into that downtown ship? Don't forget to smash the like button, people. How is he able to go into that downtown ship without being noticed? Kryptonian where? He's saying the closet under his clothes. Maybe where he exists with Lewis, maybe that's where he has the suit. It looks like a suit though that you get inside the Kryptonian ship. And we did see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League. We did see him apparently revisit the Kryptonian ship. I believe it's the same ship, and then that's downtown Metropolis. How did he get there though? Did he use stealth mode? Did he use super speed to get into it? Because the top was broken off, so maybe he used super speed to get in there. And he probably knows the ship pretty well, so he was able to work his way around. I mean, not everybody, not a lot of people are in the Kryptonian ship itself, but inside of the building itself, Stars Labs, in downtown Metropolis, which is built around the ship, um, you know, it's heavily guarded. So how did he get? How did he get in there? Did he wait for an opportune moment and then sneak in? Just like how Batman and Cyborg and the Justice League was able to sneak in. Is that how he did it? I don't know. But we see him come out on the side of the ship and then go up into the sky. So is that the same Kryptonian ship, or is there another Kryptonian ship that Superman went into and then went up into the sky? Did he discover another one? So these all these little questions that are just kind of buzzing around. It will buzz around and make you want to think, what's going on here? Um, that's one question. There's several questions we can bring up. Uh, he sneaked in at super speed. It was the same ship. Yeah, but then he came out the side of the ship, the open doors. He came through the open doors of the ship and then went up into the sky. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe nobody was there. I don't know. It's just one of those things I was thinking about, and I'm like, nobody observes him going up into the sky and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But interestingly enough, another interesting thing. There's several questions I have on these different movies, but that was one of them. Where does Superman hang his cape? Right? Here's the second question. And it's equally as interesting as the first one, which is that Martian Manhunter was there from the very beginning, interacting with Superman in true General Swanwick, right? My question is, Martian Manhunter knows all about Darkseid returning again. How does he know that? I mean, okay, so he's following the Justice League. He's getting information, about what transpired. This is not something that made news. He's telepathic. He can read minds and all of that. But even so, he's got to have some sort of history to know about Darkseid somehow. Maybe on his planet Mars. How does he know Darkseid's even there? How did he know that Darkseid even came? Yeah, a boom tube was open and Darkseid was present. Was he there? Did he morph into one of the demons? Did he shapeshift into parademon? How does Martian Manhunter know that Darkseid is returning? Hold on one second. Okay. How does he know? I thought that was very interesting because here's Bruce dreaming a dream. Martian Manhunter comes on the scene and starts to answer it almost immediately. Is it Martian Manhunter was communicating with Bruce? What's going on there? Anyway, I just thought it was very interesting. And something that sometimes we don't give too much thought in. Don't forget to smash the like button, people. Unless you don't like my video. Be nice. Got another one for you. When you look at Colonel Hardy and Fiora, and Dr. Hold on a second. Mm. Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, Dr. Emil Hamilton, right? And Dr. Hamilton, Fair Earl, Colonel Hardy. You will remember that before the plane impacted with the Kryptonian ship, you saw that kind of magnetization that was happening. A singularity happened in a black hole, and everybody was sucked into the black hole. Question: is Colonel Hardy, Fair Earl, Dr. Emil Hamilton, are they all sucked into the black hole, or did they die on impact? My guess, they did not die. All of them, including the other Kryptonians, are sucked into a black hole. That's my thoughts. But it is a question. Yeah, I think the same. Emil Hamilton, yeah. I agree. I think it was sucked into a black hole, and I don't know if it's. We'll see. But here's my other point. Cal still has the codex inside of him. Cal is capable of making Krypton all over again. Right? Now Cal has a child with Lewis. I do not know if that child will survive, if Lewis will survive. We'll see. I don't know. But what I do know is that Cal doesn't need to impregnate anyone to make other Kryptonians. He can use his own cells and the codex that's inside of his cells and his DNA to make other Kryptonians from himself. Once he fixes the synthesis chamber in any Kryptonian chip, whether it's a Scout chip, whatever, and we saw Lex Luthor use it to make Zod, to make Doomsday. So obviously Cal can do it to make other Kryptonians, which is kind of cool because Cal is the only one Kryptonian who could do that. All other Kryptonians, they would be military Kryptonians or scientists or whatever that they have from the Codex. Saul Martin, what's up? I love how Cal is birthed in a society that's so inverted that they literally have outlawed the act of procreation. Yep. Something that's a gift and so precious. Yeah. They went from being explorers and growing to trying to control populations. Population control. Yeah. So they had what is called external or ecto wombs. That's what they grew them in. They cultured them in ecto wombs. It's crazy. The synthesis chamber is ecto womb. They grow little Kryptonians in there. Recount says it's the codex that helped revive him. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I thought that it was the change engine, which would be the mother box that revived him. Once they jolt the energy, the Flash jolted the energy into the mother box, he was revived. Whereas Lex Luthor used the energy from Metropolis to jolt Doomsday into existence from the synthesis chamber, give him life. But the codex, what the codex does is it codes for who you will be. The codex doesn't. Um, the codex is not DNA per se, but it's like something probably that switches on certain DNA so that you become this particular thing. You're this particular thing. You're born to do this particular task. But so you get a certain amount of the codex for what you're going to be. Like Zod, he was predestined to be a warrior, a soldier. So he got a certain element of the codex. Cal has the entire codex. I think on Krypton, the series Krypton, they went into the codex a little bit more. But of course, that was hundreds of years before Cal existed. Saul says, oh, Yericon says, I don't think Cal would want to create other Kryptonians in that way. Again, that's up to Cal. Cal is basically the hope of Krypton. Not just the hope of Earth, but the hope of Krypton. His father even said that. I held the hope in my hands. So Cal represents two different worlds, Krypton and Earth. He's a Kryptonian, but he's the sort of symbol of hope for Earthlings as well. And because of Lois Lane, he may have earthly, half hybrid children, half Kryptonian, half Earthling. Yeah, I don't know what, the television series that's going on right now kind of explores that a little bit. But Cal could continue, he can make other Kryptonians from himself and continue his Kryptonian race on Earth or repopulate another planet. Use a world engine, go to that planet probably that has no life forms on it, and, engineer either a world like Krypton or a world like Earth from it. There's a destroyed world engine lying in the Indian Ocean. Maybe he could fix it, salvage it, fix it, and then use that to go somewhere and terraform there and repopulate there with Kryptonians. I'm just saying, if you wanted to. On Krypton, Cal would be just like how normal human beings are on Earth. In Krypton's atmosphere, at least. So, I thought it was just very interesting. Got another question for you guys. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, Ryan Choi, he becomes the head of Star Labs. Because because Victor Stone's father Silas Stone sacrificed himself to heat up the mother box. My question is, I guess that would be answered in the Adam movie. Will Ryan Choi follow up on his question concerning the Batman and what he thinks is a stolen mother box? Next question is, Lex Luthor was extremely dangerous, and who we know was directed to Arkham Asylum is he going to move underground to do his operations? And you had to excuse me, I'm eating. I'm enjoying my meal. We know that probably Deathstroke versus Batman was the next movie before Zack Snyder Justice League 2. My question is, Zack seemed to have been setting up the Flash movie, the Batman movie, and then probably Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because Zack Luthor is a very dangerous guy. I mean, he unleashed Doomsday on the world. I don't know if he had any idea how he was going to stop Doomsday. If that wasn't enough, he was finding out information about Steppenwolf. Wouldn't be surprised he was notifying him that the mother that well, he was finding out that the mother boxes that awakened had awakened and were calling Steppenwolf. Whatever it is, he's dangerous. And he's loose. Somebody got out of Arkham Asylum. How did he get out of Arkham Asylum? That's another question. Got out of Arkham Asylum, that's all I know. I always wondered why, what actually killed Superman. When you think about it, Superman was alive even after Doomsday punctured him with the Kryptonian spear. Well, not the Kryptonian spear, it's his Kryptonian armor. His horn in his hand. And he was still alive. He was in pain, but he was still alive. I think with the explosions and the withdrawal of the spike from inside of Superman, I think Superman's insides got exposed to the blast. I think that's what killed him. I don't think it was, because remember, Kryptonian skin is very tough, but it doesn't mean the rest of their organs are very tough, right? And muscles and stuff is very tough. It's tougher than human. So when he penetrated Doomsday's skin, he was able to, ram that Kryptonian spear through Doomsday, and the kryptonite, going through Doomsday, killed him. But there are two things I noticed. Doomsday, he emitted something. He emitted energy. Tremendous blast that went up to the sky. And it wasn't just through his head. It was through his head and through his body where the spear came. It kind of blasted at Superman. Superman didn't emit any energy, but Doomsday emitted energy. 2 pulses. And I believe that blast, because Superman doesn't have the tough skin and muscles and stuff to protect him, I think that blast is what kills Superman. You say it was the codex that kept him alive when the sands elevate. What was it? Yeah. The yes, you saw the sand levitate a bit. I don't know if it was the codex. Could be. But what it showed was that he still had that electromagnetic field around him. And he was able to influence that electromagnetic field the same way how he can levitate or float or fly. I'm not sure exactly how the sand rose up. Because Superman gets his energy from the sun, Doomsday got his energy from energy, any kind of energy source. He gets his energy from. Superman gets his energy from the sun. But in this case, the mother box, the change engine, is what revived him, because mother boxes can give life. Right? And that's what happened with Victor Stone. Victor Stone was basically almost dead, and the mother box brought him back. Right? Firestone was able to activate the mother box. Don't ask me how he activated the mother box. That's a great question in and of itself. In the case of Flash activated the mother box with a heavy electrical signal that he jumped up a charge, and that activated the mother box to wake it up, and the mother box transferred the energy from within it to Superman. And that's what revived him. But in the case of and of course, notice Superman had to be in that solution. He had to be in that nutrient solution. That's another very important point. That nutrient solution, remember, came from Doomsday. When the pod that had Doomsday inside of him, when that in the Genesis chamber burst, all the nutrients came out, and that is what spilled out into the Genesis chamber. Right? The Genesis chamber didn't have all this. It had some liquid in it because remember the Genesis chamber. That was the Genesis chamber where all the embryos and young Kryptonians would have been housed, right? So the nutrient solution was there. So Superman was in that nutrient solution, and the charge came to him. So the codex, like I said before, is basically your destiny. So if your destiny, it can go many different directions because you have the entire codex, and that's yeah. So, it's a question I always ask myself, and I'm asking now to everybody, which is, you know, with respect to Superman and his death, what killed him? What exactly killed him? He didn't get stabbed with a Kryptonian spear. He was carrying a Kryptonian spear, so he was weakened. But was it the stabbing by Doomsday, which probably impaled him as well, because Doomsday's a Kryptonian, right? Superman broke Zod's neck. I mean, Kryptonian to Kryptonian, they have equal, they have scaled strength with each other. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you puncture his skin with your horn or whatever you want to call it that's growing out of you, then obviously that might kill him. But then you literally pull the stuff out. Now the lung cavity, everything collapses inside, and on top of that, you got this blast hitting you at the same time. So I don't know if it's those two things that combined to kill him. But it's a great question, of course. And here's another great question. What did they do with Doomsday's body? They had to do something with his body, right? And if they have Doomsday's body, can't they not? Lex Luthor's done it before. Can he not bring Doomsday back as well? I'm just saying. Remember, at the end of Justice League, the change engines are still there. I heard what's his name was talking to Doomsday, and he was saying that now that the mother boxes are destroyed, they're not destroyed. They're disconnected. Okay, I forgot what his name is. Help me out here. The guy's name, I can't remember his name. So the change engines are still there, right? They're still there. Doomsday's body is somewhere. I'm guessing Lex Luthor has it. So I'm just thinking, or the government. Either way, Doomsday's body is still there. Okay? And if they could revive Superman, and if they could revive Cyborg, they can revive Doomsday. Yeah? So that's just a thought that just keeps on going around in my head. Here's another thing. So I'm just asking, where do they have Doomsday? Doomsday has to be somewhere. Right? Because the story doesn't just stay incomplete. The mother boxes. Where did they put the mother boxes? That's another question. At the end of Justice League. Because if the mother boxes are still there. So we have Martian Manhunter talking about the anti-life equation. And he's talking about Doomsday coming, Darkseid coming back. How does he know this? Right? Lyra Kong 2 says his body's locked away. It was the kryptonite and Superman's claws and Doomsday's claws that killed Superman. Okay. But the kryptonite, remember, the kryptonite went through Doomsday. Yes, Superman was weakened by the kryptonite, but anyways. So, like I'm saying, Doomsday is somewhere around. That Doomsday. I'm not talking about the Doomsday. I'm talking about that Doomsday. That Doomsday that Lex Luthor made. The hybrid between Lex Luthor and and General Zod. That monstrosity, right? It's around. And you said it's in a safe facility. What's safe? And suppose Doomsday only temporarily is incapacitated, but his body's healing, and at some point once he gets the right amount of energy, he just comes back. You know, there's potential for all of that. The other question that rose through my mind all the time is the Kryptonian ship, the scout ship that Superman commandeered. They said the ice around that ship was more than 18,000 years old, which means this is before the Great War, which was 5,000 years ago. Okay? So, in the time of gods and you know, gods and Atlanteans and Amazons and tribes of men, the Kryptonian ship had been there already. Which begs the question. How long ago did these Kryptonians go scouting in different planets and different worlds? And then two, is it possible that humanity is a diluted version down in this universe of Kryptonians? That maybe the earliest Kryptonians, and maybe what we are calling the gods, in DC, were really Kryptonians that populated a certain area, and so they still retain some of their Kryptonian powers, but as they started to get accustomed to the environment, they got smaller, and they also, who knows, started to lose those powers in that environment. Who knows? Diluted them. They started to dilute down. Who knows? And so the Atlanteans and you know, Zeus. They said Zeus made, you know, the Amazons, but maybe Zeus is a Kryptonian, or you know. Lyricon says over 60,000 years ago. See, that's what I'm trying to say. I thought it was 20,000, but anyway, all I'm saying is that's a damn long time. And so that scout ship, who's to say, first of all, that scout ship is the scout ship that Supergirl was on, right? Even though we had a precursor, I don't know if that was Supergirl, first of all. And then the second thing is, what I'm trying to say is the Kryptonian scout ship that was in Man of Steel, is that the Kryptonian scout ship that they were talking about in the precursor? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Because I'm trying to remember. I think it could have been. But here's my thing. So, are we saying that Kara Zor-El is older than Zeus, or definitely older than Wonder Woman? Is this what we say? I'm trying to understand it. I don't know. Now, there's supposed to be a Supergirl that's supposed to come on in the Flash movie, but hopefully they'll rewire the Flash, rework the Flash. Now, let me just say a couple things. I heard, they had some meeting with The Rock, and Jeff Johns on Twitter actually spoke on that, and he was very pleased with how the meeting went. Now, do understand Jeff Johns has been working with The Rock on Black Adam. He's been working in the Flash movie, even though we thought he was definitely kicked off of, you know, the head content provider for DC, and he was also kicked off of DC Films, but he has been working with DC Films and certain projects still. Okay? And he made comments about it on Twitter today. Now, the thing about it is, the future of DC, I think, needs to continue with the Snyderverse as one of the options. I'm not saying it has to be the thing, but we do need the Snyderverse. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I say this is because you have to have something to look forward to. All the fans, all the DC fans. And say what you want about Zack Snyder, he hypes up fans. Fans go nuts. Okay? So, I just think that Justice League 2 and 3 needs to happen with Zack directing those films. I straight up think so. There are a lot of people who are trying to, again, stop Zack from making these movies in the media and so on. And I listen to certain people say, oh, restore the Snyderverse, that's not happening. And I laugh because they said the same thing with the Snyder Cut. So I'm not even going to, front with that. It doesn't mean nothing, right? Money talks, bullshit walks. Now, of course, on Twitter, I've seen people saying boycott Warner Brothers. There's no need to boycott Warner Brothers, first of all. What does that mean? There's nothing to boycott. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go watch the films because I'm not interested in the films anyway. So why do you need to tell me to boycott something? You have to boycott something that you're interested in, right? I have no interest in any of the DC films upcoming right now. Black Adam, I was until Jeff Johns made the statement, and as well what happened in SDCZ. Now I'm just not interested in Black Adam. I'm not. I'm absolutely not interested in Black Adam. Once you got a guy like Jeff Johns did a good job working along with Zack Snyder. Jeff Johns did a good job when he stayed in his place. He also wrote, I think, part of the script for Wonder Woman. He had a role to play in that. Again, good for him. What he did with Aquaman, didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Okay? He hit with Wonder Woman. But of course, Wonder Woman, the story for Wonder Woman was kind of forwarded by Zack Snyder. So Zack Snyder gets some credit for the story of Wonder Woman, as well as Jeff Johns gets some credit for the story of Wonder Woman. But if you look at the parts which most people are like, what the fuck is going on here in the Wonder Woman movie? Jeff Johns had a part to play in that. Because Jeff Johns does not understand that he does not belong in filmmaking. He's not a director. He's not a producer like that. He's an executive producer, but he's not a producer. And he shouldn't be trying to tell people how to make their fucking movies. If he would just, sorry about the F-bomb. If he would just stay in his place, it really would help. If he just stay away from DC for the moment. Okay, just stay the hell away. You put him in television. Don't put him with movies. He does not do well in movies. I've never watched Aquaman completely. I think I've watched it. I've never paid to watch it, at least. I think I've watched pieces of it. I have never watched Aquaman. And that made $1 billion. But guess what? Your boy wasn't going to watch that shit because he thought it was shit. Okay? Wonder Woman 84. I went to the cinema and I watched Wonder Woman. It was shit. Okay? My point being, Jeff Johns' formula and his way of doing things, even Krypton, there was some sappy, shitty parts of Krypton. Because guess what? Jeff Johns put a character that's tantamount to himself into the movie. Okay? Into the television series. Just kick that shit out. He thinks he's funny or something. I don't know what it is with Jeff Johns, but Jeff Johns should never do film and should stay far away from film. Period. Okay? He's a great writer and all of that for comic books and stuff like that. And maybe he's good for a resource for finding out information, but just get him the fuck away from movies. He does not understand movies. He doesn't know how to translate things to movies. He sucks. And it always feels weird when I see anything that has to do with Jeff Johns. Okay? So, for some reason, this guy's still on a power trip. But he needs to go. Him and Walter Hamada need to go. Just get him out of there. They've They've wreaked enough havoc with DC. Marvel's doing very well. You know what? Fuck Jeff Johns. Carry him across to Marvel. You know what I mean? Sorry about the F-bomb again. Let him go to Marvel. Maybe he belongs in Marvel. That's where he should be. Maybe he'll have a role and a job to do there in Marvel. But he sucks when it comes to DC and doing movies. So, what does this have to do with anything? The future. So The Rock, you know, he had his movie. I guess some of the writing of this movie was done by Jeff Johns. You know that's not a good thing. Don't get me wrong, Jeff Johns can write. But Jeff Johns comes with his own stupid little ideas. You can write, but please, write comic books, fine. But don't come with your ideas of what people should do in movies. Because you suck. From Green Lantern to all these other freaking movies that we've had recently. You suck. Okay? Now, having said that, the future of DC still can be salvaged. Nobody's saying squash Black Adam. Nobody's saying that. I'm not saying squash Black Adam. I'm not saying squash the Flash. Here's what I'm saying though. I'm saying restore the Snyderverse so we have something to look forward to, and we'll watch your shit ass movies just to get to those movies. But you got to green light the fucking Snyderverse. You've got to green light it. This is for Warner Brothers Discovery. Sorry about the F-bombs again, people. It comes out every now and then. You have to green light the Snyderverse. And the first thing you should be doing, you should be actively seeking, is to get that damn movie called The Snyder Cut into theaters. Yesterday. It's already there. It's just a format. I think Zack Snyder already has his format for cinema. Because he's done it in cinemas. And they've done it in cinemas in the UK. God damn it, man. Get that movie into cinemas and let it run. Now, 2, you have the Ayer cut, god damn it. The Ayer cut is there. What is wrong with Warner Brothers? Get that goddamn thing into theaters. Into theaters. I said it, into theaters. Then you can get it in home entertainment, digital, DVDs, whatever. But get the Ayer cut into theaters. Every single DC fan and some Marvel fans will go watch it. Yes, we know. The movie, some of it is going to be something we've seen before. But a lot of it's something we haven't seen before. We want to see it. Those 2 things are good faith right there. And green like the goddamn Justice League 2 and 3. Make sure that those sequels happen. Don't worry about production costs and those things. Zack Snyder has ways of of making cheaper and cheaper films, man. He can do it. But the first thing you need to do is greenlight the Snyderverse. And how do you do that? There's a guy named Ben Affleck. There's a guy named Joe Manganiello. There's a guy named Jay Oliver, and there's a lady named, I forgot what her name is right now. Help me out here. Batgirl. Who's supposed to be Batgirl? And of course, Commissioner Gordon has to be in that movie. And Jeremy Irons. You have to pay for those actors, obviously, but this is not a high-budget movie. God damn it. Ben Affleck already, and Gavin O'Connor will simply be the one to direct the film. Affleck and O'Connor do very well. He did The Accountant. Again, a low-budget movie to be made, and it made money. It's a small, low budget movie, but it'll make giga money, just like how Joker made a lot of money. It's a low budget movie. What is wrong with Warner Brothers, man? What is wrong with you people? Ben Affleck is Batman. Batfleck, that's what we call him. Nobody else can take the throne from him. Nobody. He's done more movies with Batman in it than any other actor. Okay? My point is this. Going forward, if Warner Brothers Discovery wants to actually keep the fan base, there are fans who are looking to boycott Warner Brothers. Doesn't matter to me, because I'm not boycotting something that I'm not interested in anyway. So I'm not going to be boycotting anything because I'm not going to go see the movies anyway. I wasn't going to go see them. I was probably going to go see Black Adam. That was the one that was interesting me. Had interest to me. But after SDCC and then seeing the trailers and hearing that Jeff Johns wrote it again, and hearing the same old, and hearing certain aspects and elements of Warner Brothers, and people in the media talking about how this, the Snyderverse is done, and everybody's trying to get the Snyderverse to be done. Why should I be interested? What do you think? Do you think that DC fans who go to the cinema and watch movies, hardcore DC fans, you think they're going to go and watch your movies if there's nothing to look forward to? At least with Marvel, they were looking forward to those assembly movies. What assembly movie does DC? What DC fans? No assembly movie. So why are we going out to the cinema to see new characters? Oh yeah, new characters. We need to look at new characters. For what? Why? You're trying to go the Marvel route, right? You're trying to, oh yeah, we need to go to the... Too much hee-hee ha-ha in the movies to start with. The reason I liked DC was because they took the characters seriously. As of late, they gotta throw in jokes in every single movie. Hee-hee ha-ha moments. Not taking the characters seriously, not adding any depth to them, just superficial rubbish. I'm not cool with that. Not. So, my question to Warner Brothers Discovery is, do you really want your fans to leave you and go looking for something else? For once in my life, I actually took superhero movies and saw them in a different light. I saw them beyond the physical embodiment of these characters to the qualities that make someone sought after and desired. Zack Snyder did a great job with that. And so there was depth. Now, that's not good. We need to move away from that. So now, you're trying to give us Hollywood bullshit, trash. Nobody cares about that. Why I appreciated Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman is because it brought qualities, and it spoke to something, and it showed us a different side of something that made the story great and everything else. Wonder Woman 84 failed, in my opinion, me. Now, with respect to maybe little kids like anything, so maybe it was great for little kids, but for me, it failed me. So that's all I got to say for now. We're almost up. Our hour's almost up. I got to go out, get something extra to eat to just save myself, make myself feel happy. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Tomorrow, we're gonna continue with Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League at around this time again. So you guys can stay tuned for that. This time I'll do it on a stream in StreamYard so you guys can pop on, say your piece, leave, right? Want to get some more people. We're going to build up to the weekend. I got a lot more stuff I want to say, but I can't, you only have so much time. And I don't want to go beyond the hour. So I'll catch you guys later. I am Christ, I am disciple. Let me see if I can leave you guys with a little bit of scripture. I always try to end with scripture. Shout out to Leroy Kung, man. I need to get back on your channel, bro. I need to get on your different channels. Alright. Just this came out in front of me. I want to read this. Alright. This is sort of like a Superman movement in the Bible. So, Jesus was going by a pool in Jerusalem where at a certain hour the pool gets troubled. There are ripples in the pool. They think it's an angel that touches the pool. And when the pool ripples, if you go down and you dip into the pool, whatever infirmity you have, you get healed. All right? It's kind of like a Superman kind of mythos kind of thing, right? You get healed. And so Jesus was going down to Jerusalem, and there was this guy who he had been sick for 38 years. And he saw him lying at the side of the pool. And Jesus asked him, he said, "Hey man, you want to be healed?" And the guy said, "Definitely. But I ain't got nobody to put me in the water when the water starts to ripple." So Jesus said to him, "Hey man, listen, get up, take up your bed, and walk." And when he said that, the guy suddenly got up, took up his bed, and walked away. In other words, Jesus gave him a command. Basically said, "Get up, take up that bed, and go." And as he said it, the power with which he said it, the guy just immediately got up, took up his bed, and left. Yeah. Now, that day was the Sabbath. Those of you who don't know what Sabbath is, I'm going to break it down. The Sabbath, for Jewish people, is the seventh day of the week. On that day, you're not supposed to do work like you normally do. You're not supposed to light fires, and you're not supposed to move excessively about the place and stuff like that. Now, I came from a religion called the Seventh-day Adventists. It's kind of Judeo-Christian. And they also believed in Sabbath. Now, they kind of a little bit more leeway on it, in that you can cook and stuff now. But once upon a time, they were very strict about it. Anyway, Jesus came and he healed this dude on the Sabbath. So, it's like he did work. It's like a physician who gives you something, he's working and he gives you a recommendation for something and he gets you well. It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for you to carry your bed, right? So one of their laws was that You can't do no work. So what are you doing carrying your bed wherever you're going? Which probably is home. And he answered them and he said, he that made me whole, he said to me, take up your bed and walk. Now, you got to understand, dude didn't have a choice. It was a command. So he's talking to them, and he's saying, listen, dudes, you don't understand. Dude just commanded me, and I just got up, and I took up my bed, and I started walking. Right? Then they asked him, he said, who's the man that said to you, take up your bed and walk? And the guy that was healed, he didn't know who the guy was. Because Jesus, when he healed him, he disappeared. He left. He didn't stick around. And there was a lot of people there. Afterwards, Jesus finds the guy in the temple and says to him, I healed you. Now don't go and sin, lest something worse happens to you. Okay? And the man departed, and he told the Jews it was Jesus that made him whole. And therefore the Jews persecuted Jesus and sought to kill him because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. Boom! That reminded me of Superman when he saved the kids from the bus. What happened after that? Besides the mother of one of the kids coming to the home and talking in mystic, very shockingly, he then was accosted by one of the kids in the school, telling him to fight back, use his powers and fight back. He wanted to see if there's anything special about him. He beat up Superman. My point being, you can be extremely powerful, like Superman or like Jesus. And you speak with such power that nothing else can happen but the person must be healed. Right? And so that guy, he got immediately healed, and immediately he just did everything that Jesus told him to do. He didn't have a choice. It just literally, Jesus spoke to him, and it was done. Okay? And you know what happened? And that's some serious power we just talked about there. They sought to kill him. Why? Because he had a guy breaking their law by not keeping Sabbath. I want you to understand something. They were just like Lex Luthor. They were offended that this guy, who is this guy? He got more power than us. Oh, that can't happen. We got a system, and this system must be kept in order. He's got to go. Lex Luthor was the same thing. Lex Luthor was the same thing. Oh, who does this guy think he is? He just coming in and messing up everything. I was at the top of the totem pole, now I'm not. Hell, he gotta go. My point is, and that's the dilemma that Superman had, is it worth it to continue doing good, knowing that your life is at stake because people will seek to kill you for doing good? Do you stop doing good and you blend in with everybody else and you play it safe? Or do you step up to the plate and continue doing good? If it costs you your life, so be it. That's my question to you guys. You guys want to restore the Snyderverse. But here's the thing. That's for you. You want that for yourself. But in the process of doing it, remember, it's about doing good. It's about helping other people. I'm guilty, just like you guys, of instead of informing people, I sometimes insult people. Sometimes I check people, but sometimes I insult them. There's no need to insult people. Everybody has a hard life. Everybody, there's something in their lives they're struggling with. So at the end of the day, we need to be kind. And Zack Snyder says that all the time, too. We need to be kind. So, I hope this makes sense to everybody. We must be truthful. We must be honest. We must stand up for the right. But at the same time, we must be kind. I hope that this was a good video for you guys. I'm not a perfect person, as you can tell. Still cursing and swearing a little bit. I'm trying to not curse and swear much. So tough chats. You know. But I hope this video helps somebody's life. I've got a couple people who watch these videos. I'm sorry again, I apologize for the cursing. And I'll try my best. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to know that you make a difference. No matter how small you think it is, you make a difference in this world. And we saw how much of a difference we make in Hollywood, and we make as fans in DC, and we even make in Warner Brothers. We're seeing Warner Brothers change hands twice now. And what's interesting is, it's because of us. It's because of us. We did it. I hope it empowers you, and it makes you think now the responsibility you have as a person, so that when you affect somebody else's life, and yes, we make mistakes, but when you do affect another person's life, just today, I don't know who it was, somebody said, to me, that I follow you all the time, and you know, Man of Steel and Superman means a lot to me, and you inspired me. And I was shocked, because I don't know where this person knows me, but whatever. It matters. You have to be yourself. You have to be authentically you, but at the end of the day, it matters what you do. It does. What you do does affect other people. So remember that. Take that, like Superman, like Jesus, like the disciples. Take it as a responsibility, a solemn responsibility. You be more careful with your life in terms of people can be inspired by you. Yes, usually the vocal ones are the ones who are left field and stupid. But how you handle those people, and even how you treat other people, is being watched and observed by somebody out there. And it may be a young person, it may be an older person. I don't pretend like I'm the best gold standard for anything. But what I can tell you is, that is what we need to aspire to. I'll catch you guys later. I am Christ I Am Disciple. It's been fun talking to you guys on a daily, on an occasional basis. I love talking movies, but particularly certain movies. And I never knew that superhero movies could have so much substance. So I hope to share with you guys a little bit more. There's another channel that I like. I think it's called Duck Milk Pod, or Duck Milk Producer, or something like that. She's a Christian as well. She recovered from cancer, and she does a lot of podcasts on BVS and so many different things, and I really like her. And there's another channel that, this guy, he's very inspirational in what he shares. I want to refer you guys to those two channels as well. Because at the end of the day in life, why we communicate and why we even use these things, even though I'm trying to use it to make money, why we use these avenues are to hopefully benefit somebody and make their life a little bit better. So, catch you guys later.